New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And now live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., it is time once again for the Sunday evening Masterclass. And now our chief instructor, best-selling Amazon author and lecturer, here she is, the Reverend Dr. Charlette Manning.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited, and I'm a little nervous. I can't believe it. I feel like Oprah did, when Oprah did her first syndicated show, the Oprah Winfrey Show. I feel like, here I am, Sunday evening masterclass with me, Dr. Charlette Manning, live from Washington, D.C. And I'm so happy to be with you guys this evening. And I decided that tonight, as an introduction, I just wanted to kind of share how I got here, whose fault it is that I'm here, and all of the exciting things that we are going to do in the next few weeks. Sunday evening masterclass is not about me. It's about sharing our joint experiences, our insights, our abilities to share our stories with other people, learning that we are so much more alike than we are different. And how do we learn that? How do we learn from each other? We learn from each other by sharing our stories. So we're going to have a plethora of people that will be joining us over the next several weeks. And every Sunday, we are going to have something exciting and intriguing to talk about. And of course, you need to know that I don't want to do this all by myself. I want to solicit your knowledge, your information, your expertise on all areas. We want to cover areas from the mental, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the financial, all of those things that we can share with one another, our likes, our dislikes, those things that we love about life and those things that we fear about life. Because A Course in Miracles teaches us when two minds are joined, miracles happen. The Bible says where two or more are gathered, there amongst you shall I be. So that's what we're going to endeavor to do over the next several weeks. So why a masterclass? And as I said, I have been talking to a very close friend of mine who's responsible for me being here, and I'm going to have him join me in just a few minutes. I could not have started this show and started this program without first introducing you to my producer, my director, my roadman, my soulmate. I call him my soul brother because I have known Pastor Michael Mangus for over 20 years, and we're going to share our story together and how we came about doing this and how he was the inspiration behind me joining the New Thought Media Network. He pitched me after I was on his show, which he has every Friday night, which is called Fireside Chat, Friday Night Fireside Chat. And he talks about all sorts of things. He is a Church of Religious Science pastor in training for his doctorate of divinity. So he is in the Church of Religious Science. I am unity based, of course, and we're going to share how we came together and became such close and dear friends. But why masterclass? When we find ourselves now in this period of chaos and confusion, I think one of the most exciting things about where we are right now is the fact that we are living in a time of new birth. And as most of you know, and I will share a little bit more of that as well, I worked for Marianne Williamson for 7 years at the Renaissance Unity, formerly the Church of Today in Warren, Michigan. In the late 90s and early 2000s. And I remember as we were entering into the whole set up for the year 2000, and everybody was worried that Y2K this and Y2K that, and the computer systems were going to shut down, the banks were going to go, and all of this. And Marianne said to a group of us that day, she said, the year 2000 is going to bring about the new birthing of the divine feminine. And not only that, she said, if you think the year 2000 is going to be something, just wait to the year 2020. So we are now as we enter into the final year of 2021, we will be going into the triple twos. 2022 will be the birth of the new consciousness of the divine feminine. So we see that, birthing is hard work. Labor and delivery, if you've had a child or you know someone that has, you know that birthing is a painful, bloody, it is a mess, but it is giving, when that baby is born, you almost forget all of the pain and anguish and suffering you went to get to that new life. So I think we have so much to be excited about as we pursue this new era of the divine feminine. We are in the age of Aquarius, which is a feminine energy. We are in the number 2, which is the feminine energy, and we are entering into the 2022, the new birthing of the divine feminine. So of course there's a lot of chaos going on now, but you know what? Chaos is okay. Chaos is good because we learn what kind of stuff that we're made of. So we're going to be talking about a number of things over the next several weeks. But A Course in Miracles, which is the cornerstone of my life, teaches us only love is real. Everything else is an illusion. So what we're going to talk about are the number of things that we allow ourselves to get caught up in, the delusion as well as the illusion of fear. So most of you have gone through some sort of pain or anguish since we have been in this shutdown situation. But sometimes we need to be still and know I am God. Psalm 46:11 teaches us that it is in the stillness that God is able to make manifest those desires of our heart. So we're going to explore why we have been given this golden opportunity to emerge into this new consciousness of understanding via the last almost 24 months of this shutdown. Physically, we have literally lost our minds. We have taken and we have had to give up control out of situations and circumstances. So we're going to talk about how important it is to return to the love that you are, the love that God created you to share with this world. So as A Course in Miracles says, only love is real. Everything else is an illusion. There are only 2 emotions. You're either coming from a place of love or you're coming from a place of fear. Fear can be diagrammed down through hate, anger, confusion, chaos. All of those things can be narrowed down into that one thing we call fear. And fear is our inability to control a circumstance or a situation. So all of the things that we have feared, and we all have them, I'm coming from my place of fear today. I mean, I'm coming clean with you that I have been nervous about this for the last several days. And am I nervous because I don't have something to share? No, I'm nervous because I don't want to be judged. And that is something that I have struggled with a lot. I mean, I've been in this career for 30 years, and all the time I'm wondering, do people really want to hear anything that I have to say? Are people really interested in the things that I have to say? And my son said to me one time, Mom, you don't have to worry about people listening to what you say. If you can help one person with anything that you share, or whomever it is that you have share with you, then you have done something. You have accomplished something. So here I am. I'm here and I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And I'm hoping that somewhere, somehow, you will get something out of this sharing each Sunday night at 8 p.m. Now, the master class, as I said, needs your participation. So you can ask your questions, you can offer suggestions, you can even request an opportunity to be on the show. All things are open. And I am so delighted that here I am. New Thought Media Network has given me the opportunity to share this message. I want to personally thank the Reverend Robert Brzezinski, who is the chief in charge of the New Thought Media Network, and his trust in me and his trust in Michael also, for allowing us to come on and share our message. I'm excited about it. And I may be rambling on and on, but it is because I just feel so thrilled to have been given this opportunity. Now, as you heard in the first opening, it says New Thought Media Network is a global broadcast network. That means this show is being seen all around the world. Now, how good is that? And I just to be able to explore all of this, to know that there are people in Australia and people in London and Paris and all across the country and the world that are getting an opportunity to experience this Sunday evening masterclass. So I am grateful that we have been given this opportunity to share this time together. I am thrilled beyond measure. So, New Thought Media Network, thank you. Sunday evening masterclass, I promise you, we will bring you the best of the best. What's really great about this is, I believe that there are levels of learning and understanding. I believe that we have the hierarchy, but we have those entry level folks that are the ground forces, those people that are on the ground, meeting, greeting, talking, sharing with people every day in every way. Those are the people that we're going to have on this show. And we will have some big name surprises as we move along, because I got some friends up in there too. So I'm looking forward to sharing the Sunday evening masterclass with all of you. So you're watching me on the Sunday evening masterclass on the New Thought Radio Network, New Thought Media Network. And we're going to take a break in just a few minutes. And I wanted to see if I could get Michael to come on and join this time with me. Should we take a break first, Michael, or would you like to come on first? Michael? He is my producer, so he is behind it. There he is, my soul brother. This is my brother from another mother, and I didn't know if we should maybe take a break before we get into our storytelling, or what do you think?
Well, let's listen. We're doing real well as far as our live audience. So if you know of people who would like to join us this evening, we're live here. So have them join us on Facebook here. We're up to 11 people. So that's good. So
Okay.
have more people come on. No, let's start and then let's take a break in 10 minutes. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
So
So,
that's good.
all right. I'm going to share with you how Michael and I met. As I said, I worked for Marianne Williamson at the Church of Today, Renaissance Unity, for over 7 years. And when I went to work for Marianne, I was a Unity ordained minister, or I should say, I have a doctorate of divinity degree from the University of Metaphysics out of Sedona, Arizona, under the tutelage of Master, oh my gosh, his name just went up. Leo Masters, Masters, yes. And I have been affiliated with Unity, the Renaissance Unity of the Church of Today, with Marianne Williamson, and now I'm affiliated and a member of the Unity Church of Washington, D.C., under the tutelage and the ministry of Reverend Sylvia Sumter. But as I was going through my time with Marianne, I was the special events director. So I did all of the travel, the booking of everything of people like Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Gene Houston, Stedman Graham, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, the list goes on. Dr. Barbara King, who is she's my soul queen mother in heaven now. But I mean, she had been a part of my life for so much of my ministry. Reverend Shahira Stevens, Ian Levan Zant. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I mean, I was in Andrew Harvey. I was in relationship. Neil Donald Walsh, James Redfield, where I was in one-on-one situations with these people where I spent time literally sitting at their feet and learning from them because of Marianne Williamson. So I've always had a very good comfort level at being second chair because I had no skin in the game. I just had to show up, take notes, listen, and do whatever I was asked to do. And so I never really had to participate. I just had to appreciate. So I was in this, amazing school of new thought and learning from some of the incredible masters. Well, Marianne said to me one day, listen, it's time for you to get out there. You've been in the shadows long enough, and it's time for you to get out there and share your message with the world. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, so I wrote an email. Hi, my name is Reverend Charlette. I'm at working for Marianne Williamson at Renaissance Unity, blah, blah, blah. And I just sent this email out to every church of religious science and Unity Church that had an email address. And a couple of months went by, and the first offer I got to speak was at Summit Spiritual Center in Akron, Ohio, whose pastor was Michael Mangus, my soul brother right here. So I was, again, nervous as I could be. I drove from Detroit to Akron, and I met this wonderful man and his lovely wife, Diana, and we have been friends ever since. Take it away, Michael, your part.
Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciated you coming. Here we were, a small little group, and the vote was not to have one person speak every week, but to have different people from not only the community, but also the world. And so we were able to work out the honorarium, and I said, well, what the heck? Let's get her coming in here. No, gosh, we've been together now for like 21 years now. And I think that, again, with I think there's always a fear. I know that I have it too, or had it, was, getting out there and really sharing what I can with the world. And what I realized over the years was that I do have gifts and abilities to be able to do that. So here I am on New Thought Media Network with with one of my best friends. And I see the reason I'm involved here, the reason that Dr. Manning's involved here is because we have an opportunity here to change the world. Do you know that? With all the other religious programs out there, there is an opportunity here that people are not looking for religion, they're looking for spirituality. So we have the opportunity here to share this with the whole world, which is absolutely wonderful. So, hey, hold it. We have a message here. Hold on here. Thank you, Reverend Robert and Diego, for all the support of the New Thought Media Network and allowing Michael Mangus to learn how to produce and get both Michael and Reverend Charlette on the air. Well, thank you, Diana. That was nice of you to say.
Our biggest cheerleader. Thank you, Diana.
So again, that's what excites me here. I've had you on my show several times, and we were able to convince Robert, which was nice, to have you on. And again, we've been in pre-production here for probably about 4 or 5 months here, getting this together. So it's really nice to be able to have this finally on the air. And again, it's just, I think that the more voices that we get on, I think is the better.
Absolutely.
And so, Diego is working on right now, one of the projects that we can tell you is that he's working on putting together our Spanish programming. So we're going to be able to reach South America and really all the Spanish-speaking countries here very, very soon. So again, we have something for everyone here. So glad that my friend is on here and having a show, and then I just got out of producing school here. Diego signed my card off and he says, you have to go out there and produce shows now. And I said, oh boy. So you're not the only one nervous here.
Yeah, it's so funny because, one of my closest and dearest friends, in fact, she's like my best friend, my spiritual sister. She's like my soul sister, like you're my soul brother, Michelle Cope. And she's going to be on the show with us in the next few weeks. But, I'm her guinea pig. We do all of the testing, all of her new programs and her new classes and courses and all of that. So, I think it's so phenomenal when we can share with one another. I always believe that the pie gets bigger. It doesn't get smaller when you share it. And that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. Miracles expand when they are shared. So it's really, really great. And the fact that you just said, you know what, you need to be on New Thought Media Network. Let me talk to Reverend Robert. And boom, boom, boom. And you find so often that people are afraid to share their platforms with other people because they're afraid that it's going to take something away from them. But in fact, again, that is how the world grows. And I keep saying I'm excited. I feel like I'm continuing to repeat myself. But what is really unique about this, and again, we said that this is a global broadcast network. Yes, it is. But it's a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment. So there's not going to be a whole lot of itching and complaining on here. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about positive, uplifting things. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts, how to peel away a lot of those things that we fear the most about what's going on around us. People are just ready to throw up their hands, but this is the time to plant the seeds of spring. We are in the harvest of consciousness right now. So I think it was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross who said, all positive emotions come from a place of love, and all negative emotions come from that place of fear. So what she's teaching us is that from love flows happiness, joy, prosperity, abundance, and daily mantras of thanksgiving and gratitude lift us to that level of consciousness. And so I thank you, Michael. I did it on your show Friday night where you introduced my show on his Fireside Chat on Friday night. And I just, your audience that has followed me from you, that is is welcoming me to this new network, and I'm just excited about what is going to be happening in the next few weeks. So we got a whole bunch of stuff lined up. So I think it's time for us to take a little pause for the
Well,
cause and pay some bills.
one more thing here
Yeah.
is you should see. Now, again, I can't reveal, but she has some A-listers. I'm telling you that we've tried to get on this network before, and they would not come on. So she's working, again, all those people that you just heard her say, name drop. Well, some of those are on the list. Well, I'm not going to say who, but we're working on that right here and right now. So yeah, I'm under secrecy. Well, listen, I'm going to let you take us into the break, and then we'll be back.
Okay, so you are watching Sunday Evening Masterclass on the New Thought Media Network, and we'll be
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspired.
Okay, we are back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I said, we got bills to pay on this network as well. So if you go to ntmedia.org and you'd like to donate or find out about all the other scheduled programs on there, there is a number of, there's something for everyone. As well as the New Thought Media Network, there's also New Thought Radio. So if you want to be inspired, if you want to feel uplifted, if you want to be filled with gratitude and praise, check out New Thought Media Network right here. New Thought Media Network.org, and you can access it right on your computer or your device 24/7. So I'm so happy to be back. I am Dr. Charlette Manning, and I am here for Sunday Evening Masterclass. And I am just thrilled to be joining you for the first time tonight. I am alone tonight because I just wanted to share just a bit with you about what we're going to be talking about, and what we're going looking at, excuse me, what we're going to delve into, and discuss and expand on over these next several weeks. I keep saying several weeks, but I plan on being here for as long as you will have me. So this whole concept of New Thought Media Network is really all about you. It truly is. And how we can learn from one another. I was listening to Reverend Sylvia Sumter, who is my minister at the Unity Church of Washington, D.C., right here in the District of Columbia. And she was talking about, last week, her sermon was on getting your house in order. And that's your mental house, your physical house, your emotional house, your spiritual house, your financial house, all of those things. And this Sunday, she spoke about how to get your heart in order. And one of the things she said that I found quite interesting, and one of the things that we're going to talk about, again, going from a fear-based consciousness to a love-based consciousness, is she shared with us that you should never cast anyone out of your heart. And I thought about that, and I said to myself, wow, because sometimes we get angry or upset with someone else, and the first thing we want to do, disassociate, disconnect, never speak to them again, or be done with them, or they talk about you, you talk about them, that kind of stuff. But when you cast someone out of your heart, guess what? You haven't learned the lesson. So guess what? The universe sends somebody else in their place, to continue with the lesson that you need to learn. So one of my favorite movies is Evan Almighty. And in Evan Almighty, Morgan Freeman, who plays God, says to Evan's wife, actually Evan's wife said to him, I wish I had the courage that Evan had. And he said to her, listen, when you ask God for courage, God gives you all the things you need to be courageous. So all of the things that we need to find love, return to the love that we are, which is our natural orientation. You ever see a baby that wasn't in love? You see a baby that may cry when it's hungry or cry when it's wet. But if you look in the face of a child, it automatically shows you joy. And so we want to learn how to return to that love. So one of the things that I wanted to expand on over the next several weeks is my new book. Well, this is the first edition of my book, Forgive: 7 Steps to Finding Forgiveness and Returning to Love. And my new this book, each one of these, Forgive stands for facing your fears, organizing your thinking, releasing and letting go of past hurts. G is for gratitude and praise. I is listening to your intuition. V is around valuing the little things in life. And E is about moving energy in the body. Light cast out all darkness. And when we think about the cream that rises to the top, it's about casting out the fear and returning to the love. So that's what we're going to talk about. My new book will be out in the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed. And it is Forgive, F, Book 2, Facing Your Fears, Breaking the Chains That Bind You. So we're going to share all those kinds of things. When you cast someone out of your heart, you are denying yourself the opportunity to get the lesson that you need in order to move to that next level of light, that next level of love, that next level of gratitude and appreciation. We have so much to be grateful for. Even those of us that find ourselves in the depths of despair, by God's grace, you woke up this morning. And there are 2 ways that I start my day, every single solitary day. My first thing is when I open my eyes, I say thank you. Thank you, God, for getting me through the night. And the second thing I ask God is, what would you have me do? And if you ask God for an assignment, God must give you the time, the talent, and the treasure to fulfill that assignment. So, Course in Miracles, no, actually, the gentleman that wrote Pablo, who wrote The Alchemist, said, the moment you set an intention, the universe conspires to assist you. The universe does not differentiate between good, bad, right, wrong, evil, none of that. The universe's job, the Holy Spirit's job is to answer your prayers. So, whatever it is you are asking for, the universe's responsibility is to teach you, and I'm sorry, to answer those prayers through the life lessons that you will have. So, when you ask God for time, the universe's job is to give you the time. But when you ask God for a specific assignment, tell me, God, what would you have me do? You must be obedient unto that word. So we want to make sure that we are clear vessels, which means that we have to get our bodies in order. We have to get our minds in order. We have to connect to the spirit of the living God that dwells within us. That's who we are. That's whose we are. God sent us here for a specific assignment. And our job between our first breath and our last is to discover and uncover what that assignment is. So, New Thought Media Network is the tool, it's that next step tool for me to be able to share not only the things that I do and the lessons that I've learned, but also to be able to share those lessons with you and by you. So I'm inviting you. Don't, hey, I'm just as nervous as I can be, but you know what? I really do believe that this is God inspired. The way this came through, and there were so many obstacles that came in the way. We had to change the studio. We had to change. We've been, as Michael said, we've been trying to do this for 4 to 6 months now. We've been in pre-production, but tonight, here we are. So we are going to just pursue this. We're going to take this wherever it will take us. Now, I want you to know that it may surprise you that I don't write books to give step-by-step instructions on how to face your fears or how to forgive or how to do any of those things. What I do is I give you examples of what you can do to help benefit yourself. So in my book, in the Forgive book, you'll find that there are many opportunities. If you see in there are journaling lessons that you will actually use word prompts. You will use experiences that you have had. One of the chapters in my book says, past hurts never grow up. So that little child that was wounded and hurt in the second or third grade, I had life experiences that are so fresh in my mind right now. All I have to do is think about it. And the image, the feeling comes back into my body, which means that I have not completely healed that, even though I'm better at it now than I was then. Does that make sense? It doesn't affect me the way it did, but it still has a sting, if you will. But I often say that doesn't hurt as bad and it doesn't last as long. That's where you know that you're evolving. So, as Evan also said in the movie Evan Almighty, God said to him, we are going to build an ark, an ARK, by giving active, I'm sorry, ARK. Well, hearing it, I'm just going like this. Okay. Random acts of kindness. Acts of kindness is what we really are talking about, and how to go out and be an example of God's love on earth as it is in heaven. So as we pursue these acts of kindness and what we can do, acts of random kindness, ARK. Okay. All right. So charge it to my heart, not my head. Charge it to my head and not my heart, because I'm just going on here. And I appreciate the fact that you're hanging in there with me. So Michael is saying that we still have quite a few of you. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it down in the chat. If there are any questions you want to ask or any issues you want to pursue, please feel free to put it in the chat and we will talk about it. Okay. So remember, this is New Thought Media Network, and I'm Dr. Charlette on Sunday Evening Master Class. Michael, can I have you come back in? He's there. How we doing?
Well, good.
Yeah.
If you'd like to comment or ask Dr. Manning a question, again, I'm watching the comment section, so we'd love to get your comments or questions here. But so what are some of the things that we're going to be covering here in the next few weeks?
Well, I'll share a couple of things since one of the things that I think is really important, one of the things that we worry most about is not being enough and not having enough. And one of my you heard me mention her earlier on. Michelle Culp is one of the first people I met when I moved back here to the area, and I spoke at the Unity Church in Bowie, Maryland. And she and I have been friends almost as long as you and I have been, Michael. And she has written a series of books on, how to quit your job and follow your dreams, how to create multiple streams of income, and from a consciousness of I am, from the consciousness of uplifting the masses, but also being able, because, Catherine Ponder said, Jesus wasn't broke by any stretch of the imagination. Jesus could go the places he went and do the things that he did because he had financial advisors that went along the way. They set up things prior to his arriving into these communities. So we want to talk about, if you want to be able to do the things that you want to do, you have to be able to go the places you need to go. And you can't go the places that you need to go if you are worried about how much money you have and if you can pay this bill and how you're going to do this and should you do that and all this other stuff. You want to be free, financially free, to pursue the dreams that God would have you do. Yes, sir.
No, I was just thinking about a post that I put on Facebook this week just to get a rise out of people. So it's the chalkboard said on it, one of those chalkboards that you would see outside of a coffee house. It says, "Money is the root of all. If money is the root of all evil, then why do churches ask for it?" And it was really interesting that all of my minister friends started to comment. And so the truth of that is that it's the love of money. It's putting money first before everything else. And I've known people who've done that, again, who have been rich, but not wealthy.
Yes.
And there's a big difference.
That's right. There's a distinct difference. And you can look at rich versus wealth and you can see the effects. Oprah Winfrey is wealthy, and she shares her wealth with the world. There are, you can look at, I don't want to call names, but we all know people that are rich and don't share their riches. And we know those that are wealthy and the expansion of that, because the more you give, the more you will receive. The less you give, the less you receive. That's the law of compensation, divine compensation. So, as I was saying, what Michelle has done throughout most of her career, if not all of her career, because she definitely is a 6-figure, almost 7-figure woman, if she's not a 7-figure woman, but so much of her work is the spiritual uplifting of your financial consciousness, not just about going out and making money. And so many people are just in that job. And that job is for that paycheck. And that paycheck is to pay this bill. They go to work, they spend 8 hours, they get a paycheck, they go home, they cook dinner, watch an hour of TV, and go to bed and get up and do the same thing. So, what difference are you making in the world? So she's going to be one of those that's going to be on with us in the next couple of weeks. Cynthia Henderson, which is my meditation guru. She's that one person that I turn to every single morning. I meditate with Cynthia, and she's got a wonderful following. She does on Facebook. She has had a health challenge over the last couple of months, and she is on the mend, and she is ready to get fired up and ready to go again. We have continued to do meditations with her, meditations that she's done. You can find meditate with Cynthia on your Facebook page, or you can go to YouTube and listen to some of the beautiful personalized meditations that she does. And then she is absolutely incredible. I have a sweet young friend of mine who is, I call my little, my Philly cheesesteak, and that is, we call him Dr. Feelgood. And he is a relationship coach, and he's a young man, and he talks about how you can find emotional, spiritual connection with individuals rather than jumping into relationships that eventually fizzle out. So he is going to be on the show. We're going to cover, let's see, I did mental, how to deal with narcissists, people that come in your life, and we call them emotional vampires, that come in and just suck the life out of you. They share with you all of their drama and their trauma, and they leave you fully depleted, and they go on off and create the wonderful, wonderful in their lives. We're going to talk about the seat of the soul with Gary Zukav. Now, I don't know if Gary will be on, but we were going to talk about Gary Zukav's Seat of the Soul. And one of my favorite and most relevant books right now from my dear and loving friend, Marianne Williamson, is Healing the Soul of America. We are in that space and place where America needs healing. But healing begins from the inside out, not the outside in. So we're going to have tips and trades and all those kinds of things. So we are excited about the next several weeks. I've got calls out to Reverend Jim Webb, who is a wonderful book on spiritual prosperity that he's going to share with us. And oh my goodness, who else? I'm trying to think off of the top of my head. If I missed you, please put it in the chat. Reverend Shahira Stevens, who has been my mother, my sister, my mentor, my friend. She is Iyanla Van Zant's best friend. And she, I was at the Unity Church, Renaissance Unity in Detroit. She was my spiritual advisor. She was my mentor, my closest sister friend. I call her my mentor, my sister, my minister, my friend, and all of those things at 100%. So I'm reached out to her, and she'll be joining us. She is from TLC, Transforming Love Community out of Detroit. And one of the great things about Zoom, I love Zoom, is the fact that we can travel the world right here on New Thought Media Network. So I am thrilled. If there's anybody that you would like to have join us in the conversation, now remember, this is a positive network of global consciousness. So we want people that are going to uplift the masses, that we can talk to and expand on all of those wonderful things. So if you have someone in your Rolodex that you would like to join the conversation, just have them direct message me if they want on Facebook, or you can drop your name down here in the chat and we will have our people get in touch with your people. How about that? How's that, Michael? See, he's my producer. So not only is he my guest tonight, he's also my producer. So he's wearing all kind of hats back there today.
Yeah, running all the buttons back here. Well, again, we're just thrilled to have you here. And, I always have heard here the past few months when I was talking to Reverend Robert, he says, when you going to get Charlette on? And I said, because we had some real challenges. I had to move my studio and all kinds of interesting things. We had hurricanes and all kinds of wonderful stuff that happened. But I think that, again, that it's really good. And the one thing I really like about the network is that we have, again, voices from all spectrums. We have people, again, who talk about the Course in Miracles. We have people who talk about applying spirituality in the urban scene. We have all kinds of interesting people here. And again, with the common goal of people being empowered. For that's what we're all about. We're all about empowerment here. So again, we're so happy to have you to help us empower and to motivate. Yeah. And I just, I always remember the time when you did the breakfast up at Cleveland. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did the breakfast. Yeah. And so my board president at that time, he says, your introduction of her was too long. And I said, that's just the way it is. I mean, I just,
I agreed with him. I think it was because, I'm not into all of that introducing and all of that kind of stuff, but I get it because you wanted me to go back and I wanted to go back. So they had to know all of those details around all of that. Yeah.
Well, it's Charlette Stokes Manning, and in the Cleveland area, that's a extremely known name. Carl Stokes and some of the other people up there. So it's So anyhow, so where are you going to be speaking here in the next couple of months here?
Well, it is interesting. I have a very close friend of mine who is celebrating his birthday this weekend, and he's my spiritual son, Paul Wharton, who is now living in London, England. And we are working on a collaboration where we're going to be doing a coaching training. He has a book called Pulling It All Together, which is about addressing the outside, and I'm going to be doing the coaching on having the inside match the outside. So we've got a couple of those projects that are coming up. I spoke a few maybe a month and a half ago at the Unity Church in Las Vegas, which was with my senior minister boss, Reverend Jim Lee, who reported to Marianne at Renaissance Unity. I spoke in his church in Las Vegas, and I'm hoping to go back there relatively soon. So there's some stokes in the fire, but as you say, we are expanding our ministry because we have a global reach now, and I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to kind of give people an idea around, this is not a religious program, and as you said in the beginning, we want to get into going deep and wide. We want to talk about how we show up in the world through our feelings. And what we focus on expands. What you think about, you bring about. And what you focus on expands. Now, some people may take issue with this, and it's okay. One of the other thing, one thing is I don't want to be judged, but I don't have any problem with being challenged. If you feel I'm wrong about something, let's talk about it. We don't have to, we can disagree without being disagreeable. So I think that's most important. But the reason I have such a close relationship with the Bible is because of the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus was a radical. I tell people, Jesus was no chump. And even though he used passive resistance, Jesus went places and did things the average person wouldn't do. He healed the sick under great conflict. He did things, he brought out the best, and he said, greater things will you do, not me. All right. Greater things will you do. All right. And he's always saying that we look for our miracles outside of ourselves. Miracles take place within. The moment you set an intention, the universe conspires to assist you. Therefore, if you change the way, as Wayne Dyer said, and I sat at his feet the first time he said that, and I will never forget it. He said, ooh, that became a book. He said, change the way you see the world, and the world you see will change. And that applies to everything. I went to Bali, Indonesia with Marianne, and I had someone call me the N word in Bali, Indonesia. And I said to Marianne, can you believe that I leave the United States of America and I come to Bali, Indonesia to have someone call me the N word? Marianne looked at me and she said, this is a teachable moment. She said, because the moment racism is no longer an issue for you, the racist will stop showing up. Now, does that mean that racism will cease to exist or white supremacy will cease to exist? No, but it will cease to exist in my life. And I realized, and I write about that in my book, I realized that not only when racism is no longer an issue for you, when lack is no longer an issue for you, lack will stop showing up. When discontent is no longer an issue for you, discontent will stop showing up. When anger is no longer an issue for you, things to be angry about will stop showing up. So that one thing, if you're willing to change the way you see the world, you will change the way you see yourself. And I am my greatest teacher. I learn my best lessons from myself. And I thank God every day for devices where you can put earplugs in your ears and people they are thinking that you're talking to someone on the phone when you're actually cursing yourself out. Why are you thinking this? What makes you go there? And I'm like, brick the forehead and all of this kind of stuff. I am learning to stop myself in my own tracks when things are not working for me. Change the way you see the world, and the world you see will change. And that's what we're going to be doing on Sunday evening masterclass with Dr. Charlette on the New Thought Media Network.
If you would like to get in touch with Dr. Manning or find out what she's doing, if you go to the website, which is drcharlettemanning.com, you can also get something free if you go ahead and you sign up for a mailing list that you can go ahead and just do on drcharlettemanning.com. Another way you can get a hold of her is this one is c@drcsmanning.com. Again, if you'd like to talk about or talk to her about anything, or if you'd like to find out more about individual coaching, then go ahead and do that. Dr. Manning, I'm going to let you have the last word here.
The last word for tonight is, and I love ending everything I do with a prayer. So in the Unity Church, as well as New Thought, we have what we call the prayer protection. So I love to share the prayer protection with you tonight that says the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever you are, wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for doing this maiden voyage with me. I hope that I have been able to share something meaningful and fruitful for you tonight. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday night, same time, same station, New Thought Media Network, right here on Facebook, 8 p.m. God bless you all. Know that I love you. I appreciate you, and I behold the Christ in you. Namaste.